introduce Rajat. Rajat is the founder and CEO of Sunfox, based out of Dehradun, and the startup is called Spandan, a matchbox size ECG that can flag 40 plus heart conditions. He has pitched on TV, and one of the few that has also got the entire panel of investors to invest in him. He was part of the initial seasons. In March 2025, Spandan was also showcased at the ICMR, where Bill Gates personally singled it out as a breakthrough that could change the world. So, from bootstrapping to winning primetime TV, Rajat now not only helps founders craft pitches that can win hearts and minds on camera, but also takes care of all our hearts thanks to his product. Today, Rajat's going to be taking us through how to prepare while pitching on TV. Feel free to add your questions in the chat and we'll keep taking them up. Rajat, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Ishita, for having me. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the kind words. Though I've been on TV just once, probably not that experience what she's talking about. But okay, let me share some portions of how the journey looks like on Shark Tank specifically, and then probably I'll be more than happy to take your questions and keeping it a monologue.
Sure.
I happened to be on season one, which was the most you can say uh, most seen season probably and where everything was for the first time on the startup world in India. So how the process looks like, I can start from there, and then probably we can go to uh, what happens on screen and off screen, and how do you prepare actually, and what works for them, what not. So I think that should be okay. And if you have anything else, just let me know. Okay. And meanwhile, you can ask me the questions as well. But the only thing is, you have to remind me where we stop. Because I keep forgetting that. So in our case, the usual process, I'm not aware of the current process, but I think the process is going to be almost same. Approximately 6 months they take from the day one when you apply to being on the screen. It could be 4 to 6 months time duration, and about 3 months after completion of the shoot when you get aired. So, it's almost a year, 8 months to 1 year journey before you're actually aired. So you have to start preparing well in advance. Say, for example, for season 5, they are inviting the applications now. I think for last 2 3 weeks they have been inviting. So if you are planning to go on next season, so you have to be there applying today, right? So that's how the timeline looks like. Usually you apply directly on their platform online. And this I'm talking about in the Shark Tank context first, and then in general, what we pitch usually. So after that, they call some online videos, and you have to shot yourself and then share with them, basically explaining about your product, what exactly you do, and your elevator pitch kind of a thing, along with a lot of DD, which they do primarily. So, and this is the Sony team, not the Shark Tank team. Once you do that, they will invite you for an audition. Almost 1 month time for each step, you can say. So when you are there for the audition, they probably in our time they did in Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore. Yes. Now I think they do it only in Mumbai, but I'm not sure about it. So in the audition goes for hours. It's not a short pitch or the way you pitch on Shark Tank on the screen. So Usually you go there, you pitch in the same way you have been pitching to the other investors, and they are more interested to hear your story rather than anything else. So for me, it was like 2.5 hour audition. It's recorded usually, which never comes out, but I think that's for their internal purpose. After that, they take some more time, almost another 1 month maybe. Uh, so roughly 3 to 4 months from the day one when you apply, they call you for the shoot. So I have some numbers. So roughly 80,000 applications they got initially in the first year, which was way more than what they get now. And they invited, I think, 3,000 approximately for the auditions. And roughly 199 companies came for the shoot in our season. Out of those 199, only 67 was aired on different episodes. Rest never got a screen time. So the first thing which I saw is that screen time, if you get, that's most critical. And that only works primarily if you are a D2C brand. If you are not D2C, that really uh, doesn't work in most of the cases for Shark Tank guys. The how the shoot is basically formatted into, it's a 4 day process. So you go there on your own. I mean, they really don't take care of any of your expenses or anything. If anybody has that kind of question, I'm answering. uh, you go on your own, go there, they'll give you the stay where they will take you every day to the studio, and you interact with the creative director. They initially ask you to prepare a 3 minute pitch only. Okay, so the conventional way you do. So then creative director can help you to kind of put some masala in it. So sometimes your pitch could be as good as they want it on TV. Even if it's not, you should not be worried about, because from the entertainment point of view, from the dialogue delivery point of view, the creative director can definitely help you. This is the same thing, and you get 3 days to practice that in front of them. This is in the same way like when you go for an investor pitch, you practice yourself, you prepare your multiple slide, you give it multiple trials. So it's very similar to that. After that, you really don't know who is sitting in the tent. It's like candid. You go there and do that 3 minute pitch, which is probably you are prepared for. Rest everything, whatever you say, is actually not scripted or you prepare for, and you really don't know what questions you will be getting from them. Okay, so these are the very candid questions, very spontaneous, and you are like prepared for that. My couple of kind of planned situations was कि किसी भी ऐसे सिचुएशन में नहीं आना है, किसी भी इस तरह की कंट्रोवर्सी में नहीं आना है कि जिसमें मतलब आप एंटरटेनमेंट का एक काइंड ऑफ हिस्सा बन जाए, राइट? या आप कोई भी ऐसा मोमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए वहां पे जो कि आपको पूरे कॉमेडी का हिस्सा बना दे ओवर द मार्केट. And my all another expectation was that doesn't matter we are getting the deal or not. Okay, the important part was that pitch which we actually deliver should be so easy that even a layman, even a laborer can understand that, while you are selling a very deep, sophisticated, impactful technology. So this is another learning which worked for us. So it was more of a sales pitch for us to the audience, rather than being a pitch to the judges. So what you can leverage over that window is that you're getting a very good screen time where if any audience is watching you and listening to you, you have their full attention. So more than the amount which you can probably seek from the investors is the amount of audience which you can get, and the you know volume of the customers which you can get. So I think this was a fair point which worked for us. Just to share, we got all five sharks deal, and we raised 1 crore there. But on that night when we got aired, we clocked about 3 crores in the revenue in about 1.5 hour. We were all sold out in just 20 minutes of being aired. Okay. And because of the situation there, semiconductor was not available in the market. We were not in a position to complete the orders in next 6 months. So if this works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And now this is the important question for the sharks also. So whatever commitment you get on the screen are very simple, soft commitments. And it is subjected to a due diligence, which that due diligence is subjected to whatever you have claimed on the screen. So say if I claim something in the revenue, something on the product side, something on product relevance or science behind it, or anything you claim there, they're gonna check it out, go for a proper due diligence process. If you fail in the due diligence process, you will not gonna get the money. Roughly 50% of the people get the money, rest fails. Another reason of failure there is, uh, as a founder, we make ambitious claims. And when we go on air, probably we don't get that volume of customers. So that's something kind of validation for the consumer. Uh, you know, uh, that's a validation for the investors, not the consumer actually, that whether this company will fly, will take off or not. So that's how it is. I'll give you an example before I come to a couple of the examples. I'll take the questions if there is any questions so far. Yes, please.
Would you like to unmute or you can drop your question in the chat? We'll take your question now.
NJ impacts.
Yeah, hi Rajat. Thanks
Hi.
for sharing the story. My question is, what are some of the tough questions they will ask? I mean, Sony team ask, or let me reframe that, or probably what are some of the out of box questions that as a founder need to be prepared, right? Which should come from the investors, right? You might have not prepared for those kind of questions. It could be silly question, or it could be something very difficult or something very difficult to answer.
Okay. So, I mean, all sort of 3 degree, like 360 degree of questions you will get. I can probably share my side of it. The first is like when we talk about a product, why this product, uh, why we made this product, or say why this product is even required. To establish the market needs and the relevance is a very kind of you have to spend a lot of time. When I come from the medical background, so making somebody understand the uh, medicine point of view or the clinician's point of view behind it becomes very crucial. So you spend quite a lot of time there. Then to establishing your technical versus the financial supremacy over any other competitors. Openly talking about the competitors, they'll ask you about the team, why the team is like that, the previous fundraise. If raised, why? If didn't you didn't raise, then why not? Then probably, a lot of things you have seen, tearing down the unit economics, go to the market approach, how your vision to scale it, how what all you will be planning to, scale that to a certain level, some of the conflicts. In my case, they even called my customers. They purchased my device, uh, sent to some customers blindly before, in like as a part of due diligence also, uh, to test whether it is working the same way I'm claiming, irrespective of the evidences you produce. So see, as a founder, the only thing which I've learned is, because in early stage, our aspirations are to establish to the growing company, like to compete with the growing company, or say somebody who is probably little early in the process, maybe direct competitor, indirect competitor, or something like that. We do some claims which are not honest, you can say, or you should not be just bluffing about it, because that's something which you'll definitely gonna stuck with some or the other way. That becomes super important, that to you be as honest as you can. The way you present it, that is another different thing. Probably you don't have the customers, but if you broke down where you are in the process, what exactly the milestones which you have achieved, which establish the strong correlation with your upcoming things, so that is equally important. So it's not necessary to have a lot of consumers, though that's the advantage. Another thing which I learned, okay, I'll give you an example which I really wanted to share. uh, I used to pitch. Okay, I'll ask anyone of you. I make portable ECG machine. Okay, and that's a drill which I'll let all of you to do for your own products. Okay, just think about it. In one liner, or say less than 10 words, can you explain your product and buy more seconds? So when we are pitching, the important thing which I've learned is your first 10 to 30 seconds are the most crucial time while pitching to anybody, be it your customer, be it your investor, be it Shark Tank, while you are on TV or wherever you are. How you establish the curiosity or convey most of what you are doing to other person is the most important part of the entire journey. Just try if you can do that in first 10 seconds. If not 10, at least 30 seconds is the most important time. What we usually do, since we are living that world where we understand the space, we understand the domain, we understand the product also. So a lot of jargons which we have, we misses explaining them. Say for an example, I'm coming to that. I make portable ECG machines. Now, if I have to tell somebody or pitch somebody in first 10 seconds, let's take that a benchmark. What is the simplest way I can pitch it? A portable ECG machine or a matchbox size ECG machine? Is that the uh, uh, kind of simple enough pitch to make somebody understand, right? Or I say I make world's smallest ECG machine. See, when we say ECG, I am assuming ECG is something which everybody will understand. Now think, can I further simplify it and make it more impactful? So how I pitched to most of the people after learning that is, we detect heart attacks on smartphone. Now, if I'm interacting with anybody, and I give these different one-liner pitches. Which one is most appealing in conveying the market, domain, the kind of product I would be in, or basically giving that hook where you can kind of catch the other person, uh, which is like it's about buying more and more time with each and every of your sentence. So that's how it works. So since then, I started calling that we are into heart attack detection space, or we make heart attack detection possible via smartphone. That creates more curiosity, and you buy the other person in the very first line. And that's how I think this entire thing has been like possible for us. And I also that's the most critical learning which I would share with all of you, that there is never a degree of complexity or degree of simplicity while you are making your pitch. So, I think that is the most important part. And you can always keep simplifying it. Probably, when I deep dive, I can find a more simpler and more attractive version to it. But I think that's the entire crux of what I wanted to say. Happy to take questions. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rajat. I'm sure a lot of questions are coming in. I remember the first conversation you and I had was also about your whole Shark Tank journey. But Raisa, sorry, Rasesh has a question that while pitching to consumers like this, should we pitch the product or its value proposition?
When talking to the consumer, it's very important to know them first before pitching. Because what happened, that's another, and that's in the case of investors also. The desperation to sell the product, which or sell the company maybe, or to get the investment, is so much that we really forget to understand who the other person is, what exactly their needs are they a fit to what you are selling or giving to them, and the relevance of the product. See, unless you know your consumer while talking, I'm talking about a direct sales pitch. I'm talking about a direct conversation. If you are doing as a salesperson, as a founder, that we really don't spend a lot of time on understanding them, or what brings to us, what's something they're already convinced about, and then build our you know relevance on top of that. The second thing is the product comes at last. It's about the solution or the value which you want to give to them. So if say somebody you want to do the routine checks at home, I really don't want to sell a ECG machine to them. If somebody is afraid of heart attacks, like what we see in Karnataka everywhere, I really don't want to sell them a ECG machine, or they're really not interested to compare that what exactly my machine does. What I can do is you can do your general checkup whenever you want on your smartphone with this. And I think this is something which makes more sense for them.
Thanks, Rajat. We have some more questions coming up. We have one from Varun, which is on how important is it to be conversant in Hindi while pitching, and or can the creative director pin down the script and give it to us?
So ideally, it's better if you can script initially in Hindi yourself. Creative director can improvise always. Okay. The second part is you have to be conversion in Hindi, because the audience which is there is actually the Hindi audience. However, if you don't have that, creative director can always help you. But rest of the conversation should be in Hindi. So it's great if you are speaking Hindi. Yeah.
Thanks, Rajat. Founders, feel free to add your questions here. Uh, Rajat's here to support you in your journey. Yes, Dheeraj, go ahead.
Hi Rajat. So
Yeah.
as we speak, I'm all also filling out my Shark Tank form for this season. I hope I get the chance. But yeah, so in my case, like I'm building a new product, like as you spoke about, explaining it under 10 seconds. So for me, it's like uh, your daily break from smartphones. So I'm building a drink phone that is your daily break from smartphones. So uh, it's not a existing so to say product, or like even the category of digital well-being that I'm trying to build products into. It's like similar to, it's a completely new product. So as of now, I have started like last month only. I have been live on my website and started selling. But then the journey will also evolve if and when I get the chance to talk to Shark, right? So now, right now, the details I'm giving to them, and the things that will be there when the when I will actually be talking to them, right, or recording. So there is a gap there. So how does it affect my chances? If you have any view on that, to get selected. And second thing is, how should I then what should I focus more on, to increase my chances?
So, I mean, that's a very different kind of question. So, see, if your question is about how do you pitch your product perfectly, or is your question about something else?
So it's about even it's like the final pitch we give to sharks, right? Even before that, we are kind of pitching it to their whole team. Like I'm filling out the form, it's huge, right? So even step by step, how do I increase my chances? That's it. Given the kind of product, because like I'm not another BPC brand, right? So where things are already existing and comparatively easy to understand. So even in your case, nothing like that existed before, right? So on those lines, anything that that might help me, or I should be prepared for.
Okay, okay. So, see, the support which you get there is probably more of a fine tuning than building from zero to like or from the scratch, right? So you should be ideally able to convince those people at first time with your current pitch rather than depending on something which a creative director will be doing. Your current goal or objective is to be there first. So I think you should be doing your entire thing in such a way that a customer or an investor should be willing to invest in it. How they present it and how they fine tune or polish it is from the point of view of going on a larger audience, right? Not from the perspective of understanding of a investor, right? So take them as a policing kind of guys rather than doing it from the very scratch.
Yeah. So yeah, works. Thanks.
Rajat, is it advisable to apply and pitch on TV or pitch to investors pre-revenue in the current market context?
Uh, if you add current market context, so I would say anybody who is giving you the funds or you see the possibility of getting funds from, you should go and apply because the market is very unpredictable. And I also applied to Shark Tank with that thought कि यार कर देते हैं होता थोड़ी है. So then went to audition with the same thought कि होता थोड़ी है चलो चलते हैं. So you have to really keep knocking on each and every door. You really don't know which one will open. Okay, so go try in all the directions because right now there is no binary answer to it. Or if I say that Shark Tank is the only investor you can get, that's wrong. If I say you will not get a outside investor, that's also wrong. And if I say you will get all other outside investor, that's also not the final statement. So you have to figure out what actually works for you. So keep trying in all the directions, and I think something will happen. And both complement each other as well. If you apply to any investors in a pre-revenue stage, outside the market, and even if they do the rejection, so at least you know how to speak the VC language, how to speak the investor language. What are your critical questions which you are not able to answer? So probably the next investor, if they ask you the same answer, same question, you will be probably able to answer in a better way.
We've got a couple of other questions in the chat. We will pick them up. Prithvi, you can go ahead and then I'll pick up a couple of questions from chat.
Rajat, just out of curiosity, do they actually invest on the same numbers, or do sharks also bargain and invest? Because whatever happens on the TV, does it happen offline, or is there some change?
I have not seen any shark doing the bargaining post commitment on the screen, but I've seen a lot of founders doing the bargaining after they do the
Yeah,
commitment.
yeah. Even
Even
I have heard.
in fact, that happened in our case also. Uh,
Wow.
that happened in our case also. That just a moment, give me one
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
Somebody
Please.
is there on my door.
Manish, we'll also be picking up your question after this. I might need a little bit of clarity to understand your question, so you can unmute and ask after Prithvi.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. So this happened in our case also. We agreed for certain percentage on the screen, and we improvised the offer screen because we got the good traction. So that happens. That's everywhere.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajat. But generally, I've heard founders bargaining, but I was also curious to know because sharks also tend to bargain, right? So just out of curiosity, I asked.
I've never seen. It may happen because I also don't know everybody, but I've not heard this anywhere.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rajat.
In that case, I've seen sharks just backing out if they are not agreeing on what they committed.
Got it.
Manish, would you like to go ahead next?
Yes, so basically, I'm not looking for funding or money. I got government funds, I'm very happy. We have a way to eliminate digital divide in education. Our video content, if I make my own, I'm a teacher, I make a video content, I was a professor, and I make MP3 using compression.
I'll किसको भेज दिया मैंने?
If I make my lectures, video lectures into MP3 and text, it's 20 times smaller. And we have got about 30,000, 40,000 page views for our website. And all kinds of underprivileged students, children, and all Germans and Americans, everybody love this format. I want everybody to make MP3 content, text content, feature phone apps, and just create digital divide elimination and not this kind of profit. So what will be a good forum?
Sir, I didn't get your question.
So Shark Tank is for raising funds and things like that. I'm not looking for it. We got
that sir, that depends. How do you want to use that platform strategically? I've seen so many
Uh,
people going there not with the intention of raising
uh,
money, but just to get the market. In fact, I was also there for the same reason. If I go through, the funds were not important. The reach which I got after that was important. And I think you can see so many companies going there with that intention, which Shark also realized that, hey, you don't need to come here. Why are you coming? Right. So that's everywhere. That's a founder's, decision strategically. How do you want to use people for what reason, right? For what purpose? So, yeah, that's absolute. Nothing is wrong in.
Great. I see a lot of questions pouring in. Um, is there a pitch format when you're pitching on TV similar to a VC pitch, like intro, problem, any any format
Okay.
that they keep in mind?
So ideally, that's a verbal flow, I would say, rather than you showcasing something, because it's a 3 minute pitch. And ideally, their format, they don't want to have the slides typically. But when you go for the audition, you go with the slides only. Okay, so nothing is different than a regular investor pitch to the auditions. But ideally, if you analyze any of the TV pitches also, or anywhere, unless you establish the need or talking about the problem, I don't see any relevance of a product coming directly, right? So I think that's a very, very standard for everybody, where you establish the problem first or the need first, probably talk about how relevant or how large that problem could be. You have to establish that's not just my problem, that's world's problem. And if that's world's problem, if you're able to establish that, it means you're saying it's a very large market to be in. And then you probably talk about the solution. I think that's a standard everywhere.
Got it. The next one we will pick up is should all co-founders be working full time on the idea if we get shortlisted to pitch on TV?
Ideally, that's the ideal scenario which everybody needs, but it's always justified even if some co-founders are not working full time, depending on the situation you are in. But ideally, it's a red flag if a co-founder is not there full time. But say, depends. If your co-founder is, say, a Nobel laureate, so probably you don't need that person to be full time with you. And that depends how much company they own. So if your founder owns, say, 70% and not full time, it will never work. If your co-founder owns, say, 10% and not full time, but contributing significantly, that works. Depending on the profile they bring in, the kind of expertise they bring in, and the kind of contribution they can do. So, but there is nothing right or wrong. It's but you can definitely say it's always advisable that if the founder is there full time, so good. I'm
Sorry.
based in US. I can see the next question. I'm a student, came 2 years ago. We're currently running pilots here and plan to launch in India soon. We have raised some capital from our college incubator over the past year. Don't have any presence in India at the moment, though we think customer we are not. Uh, I mean, you can definitely try for the Shark Tank, but unless you have some paying customers and a legal entity in India, they will not be having a way to invest in you. So, by the time you go there, at least you should be a legal entity here so that you can take that deal. I don't think they will be able to invest in a US company. And if you say you are just the student working on this, have some customer, but not the company, should work, I think. AI says the question from Ishita. Ideally, anything which is consumer oriented appeals them the most. B2B is not something they are really. I've not seen so many startups coming from the B2B or something in your domain, but it's always
Can you
advisable
check
to
my
try.
website, deeptrue.ai? So basically, we are building something that blocks Cluely and
Uh,
Find Around AI in interviews, so that like right now, a lot of cheating is happening in interviews. So and they are backed by A16Z and like top VCs in the SF.
I have seen some company into hiring space coming over, but I can definitely say that you can definitely try. I mean, see, I will not be, I'm not the right person to say yes or no.
Yeah,
Even if I say no and you get selected there, so there is nothing. You have to actually knock the door and see if it works for you. But the idea looks interesting.
thank you.
Any more questions, founders? Feel free to put them in the chat. Okay, Saket, let us know if you have a particular question. In the meantime, Rajat also wanted to, understand from you that what are the immediate steps did you take in the 48 hours after airing on national television to make the most of that visibility?
Keep your lines open. There should be somebody to attend all the calls. If not, use an IVR. At least you capture the data of each and every call which comes there. Second, make your website able to kind of handle that kind of traffic which you can get. Uh, Try convert all of the traffic into the prepaid orders rather than COD or some other channel. Drive most of the traffic to your website. Put some money on the ads so that you have been able to encash most of the traffic. Uh, for 3 months, you can use the Shark Tank clip of your episode also as an advertisement, which they block after that. You cannot use that clip to do your promotions to run the ads after a certain time. So that 3 months is very important. Uh, One of my channel got blocked, others got blocked after 3 months to use that. So don't do that mistake. I think that's and stock up. If you are D2C company, stock up. That's important.
How much time goes for due diligence after a deal is done?
3 months. 3 months for the documentation, and I think the final day decides. This is what I've seen. If you are getting the traffic, you get the deal. If you're not getting the traffic, you don't get the deal.
Any tips on props, slides, or physical products as early stage founders you should or shouldn't bring to the TV set?
Bring finished product. Don't bring very early stage products. That's a red flag for the investors, for the sharks, for the audience as well. Come with the finished product. Show that you have the capability to deliver on the time. Show you can actually deliver the product. Unless you do that, you don't get the orders. And I think orders are more valuable than getting the sharks' money.
Definitely. Business is always very important. Rajat, you are, one of the few unique startups that have got the entire panel of investors on board. How did you do it? Why did you agree to all five? And any pros and cons of having all five of them?
It was just meant to happen. I decided. So when we went out to decide to take the call whether we are going there or not, we decided that we're gonna say no. And among all four, I was given that responsibility to say no. I walked out. I don't know what happened. I just said yes. I still don't know how it happened. Then the good parts of having all five sharks are you get more time, even if you are able to get 1 hour from each of them every year. Okay, you should not seek more time. That I'm just giving you. A couple of hours a year should be good. I think that's best all of the startups are getting. Another thing is when you have more sharks, so you are a football among all of them because you know everyone thinks that the other one will help. So you just keep bouncing between all of them. So sometimes, but I've been lucky, so my things are different.
I hope your team is thankful that you said yes that day.
Yeah.
Rajat, what are your top five tips of pitching on TV?
Top five picks. Again,
Top five things to keep in mind while pitching on TV.
so my simple and the most important one I would say is keep it simple, keep it understandable, stop using the jargons. If you use the jargons, I think you're gonna lose that. The second one is be honest. Again, as I said, uh, if you are bluffing anybody, be it your customer or the investor, you'll again, that's a big mistake you're doing. The third thing is go at the right time. If you feel you're too early, don't lose that opportunity. If you are feeling you are too late, don't do that as well. So that's another one. And what else? I mean, put some masala, some tadka if you can. That always works because that comes on a channel which has entertainment in it, in its name. So it's not very, very uh, kind of non-conventional. Or then another thing I can say definitely is that uh, what should I put here? There is always, uh, less confidence which an founder have, or thinking whether I'll get it, whether I'll not get it. You never know what happens when things are meant for you. So keep trying. Uh, Sometimes things go beyond imagination, beyond your plan. So I think go for it. It's a process. You have to go through it. Unless you go through it, uh, there is no other way you can learn it.
Thanks, Rajat. We've got time for one more question, I feel. How often do the investors connect with you and how much do they contribute to scale the business?
I answered that already. If
Yes.
you're getting 3-4 hours a year, should be good enough. And
Amazing.
again, if you say, see, this is for every investor, not just the shark. That's your business, not their business. Okay, they're focused on their business. You're focused on your business. Unless you have a sharply defined ask, this is what I need very clearly, as per, and you have to think from their perspective also whether it's doable for them or not doable. If you go with the realistic and sharply defined ask, you will get that done. If you just go and tell them, tell me what should I do, obviously they will not having any clue about your business or about where you are in the process. If you ask me that where you are in the process, I can't answer that, right? So it's always the founder's job to have a specific ask, to know what exactly you know from that other person, and go and ask that. The chances of your success will increase. They do it in safe notes and CCPS both. I got it in CCPS only.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Rajat, if there was a particular moment of your pitch which you feel convinced the investors, what would you say it was?
He asked me, Anupam asked me a very sharp question that, you know, if you're saying everything is so good in your product, in your market and everything, if it is that good, so then why everybody is not jumping on it? And I think that was a game-changing question in the entire pitch because I said सब कुछ तो सही है ना आपने जो बोला मैंने सब कुछ आंसर दिया so अगर सब कुछ सही है तो why people are not jumping on it, why do you come to Shark Tank? So I think that changed the perspective of everybody, the way I think he asked and certain things I have been able to answer. I think that convinced everyone.
Amazing. Rajat, thank you so much. I have no idea where the last 1 hour went. Thank you so much for sharing your LinkedIn with everybody in the chat. Feel free to reach out. If you all have particular questions, also do let us know. We'll try and get Rajat to answer them for you.